To bulk upload variable and simple products, go to Products, All Products, and then note the import and export options. We recommend setting up simple or variable products or a combination of the two according to your format and setup. We then recommend clicking the Export button so you can format your other products in the same style. Here we've extracted an example of a simple and a variable product with the various variations. We've got 3 products that we're going to add, 2 of which will be variable products and 1 of which will be a simple product. We can pick up the format as used in our other products by simply duplicating the columns below. It's not mandatory to use all columns available to you in WooCommerce. After exporting your products, if you notice that a number of columns are empty, they may not be as important to your particular format. In this case, it is safe to delete them. Let's start with a simple product. In this case, we'll leave the ID field blank because this is a new product. If we wanted to update an existing product, we'll keep our ID field in place. Next, we'll copy the type and we'll put our new SKU, which will be 69 for this product. We add in the name. Published is true. Featured, we're not really using, so we can delete that column. We do want this to be visible, so we'll just copy the same value as before. Short description and long description. We'll leave blank for this particular product, as that will sometimes be the case. Taxable, we will copy the same as our simple product. Keep in mind, our simple product example is this row. If you're using Excel or Google Sheets or numbers, you can select the background color to be a different color to the other columns so that you know that this is an example. In this case, we're going to leave tax class empty. We're going to say in stock. If we do have a stock number, we can enter it, but we'll just leave it blank for this particular product. I'm going to not enable customer reviews. I can disable that if I don't want that feature on the other products that we're going to update. We won't enter a sales price, but we'll put a regular price of $1,500. Entering our categories, we can add new categories if we haven't added them before, or if we select a slash between 2 categories. This will set up the relationship as parent category, child category. If we have tags, we can put them in place. I will leave that blank for here. For images, it is suggested to bulk upload your base product images, setting the product name based on your SKU. In this case, it's SKU 69, but I also have 2 variable products, SKU 149 and 143, which we're going to be adding in a little bit. If you set up your folder as such, you can bulk upload your product images and enter these into the images column. You will need to include your base URL, WP content, uploads, sites, your site. You'll pick this up from other images that you've uploaded, as you can see above, the current year and the current month, and then your SKU number. If you are using Excel numbers or sheets, you can use a formula such as this. Get our base string, as it's called, select a little AND symbol, we select our SKU, we select another AND symbol, we now have an automatic field. If we have a new product, we can simply copy this field down, opening quotes and closing double quotes. Select OK, and whatever SKU is used, this will show up and populate automatically into this field. If you are not comfortable with formulas, you can also enter the exact string value yourself and simply change this using that same convention, where your SKU number is used for the image name. The parent field is empty if we are using a simple product. Position we can set to 0. Attribute name is empty if we're doing a simple product. And so are attribute values, attribute visible and attribute global. In this case, we're using the same fields that we can see above. I'm going to put this image up above here. We are now ready to populate our 2 variable products. Let's start with our chicken and roast pepper quiche. This has a SKU of 149, and we're going to first set up the variable product parent we'll need 4 children if we're going to copy the same convention. 1, 2, 3, 4. We can empty this out. Copying the same value as above, we select the SKU with a value of 1, 2, 3, and 4. We can also set the base product SKU so that our images will populate correctly. The main parent product should be called variable, and the 4 child products should be called variation. We'll leave the ID field blank. Published and visible we'll set to the same. Short description we can set as follows. Full description we can set like this. Format typically includes new line characters. We can copy this from the other examples. Taxable we will set as such, copying the values as above. In stock we will set to this. If we have a stock number we can enable those as well, keeping in mind this is the parent and these are the variations, the children. Customer reviews we're going to disable. Price we're going to pick up. If our base price in this case is 1200, then we'll set it as such. 1200 divided by 4. Your values would change depending on your setup. 300, 600, 900, and 1200. Put that under the regular price column. And then for sales, if a sale is applicable for a certain size, you can enter that here. We'll give a 100 unit discount to the sales price for the highest amount of 4 servings. Categories will be the same format as per the above. If we note here, the original example only has the category under the top level variable for the parent product. So we will do the same here. Tags, if applicable, we can copy this formula. Again, we do this if we look at our example. It's only for the parent product. Here we've picked up the 149 from the SKU there. Under parent, you may notice that the example product has an ID. This matches the ID that was created when the product was created. As we have new products here, we can use the SKU of the parent. We'll set this to 149. Position, in keeping with the example products, we will say 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Attribute name, we will use serving size. Attribute values, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Attribute visible, in keeping with the example, we will say 1, 2, 3, and 4 for the parent. Attribute visible 1, again copying the same example as the parent. And attribute global, we will set to 0. We can copy the same idea for our next product. It's down here. This product we can change a different color so that we can keep track of the various items. If you're familiar with product imports, you may not need to do this, but it can be very easy to get lost. This is one simple product. This is one variable product. This is a simple product that we've added. This is a variable product that we added, and we are now going to add our final variable product. We select chicken paella. This will be SKU 143 and it serves 2, so we only need 2 variations. We need a description if we've got one. Set our prices. 1300 is our base. And 650 will be our single. This one we won't set to a sales price. Change our categories. This is set automatically. It's a special dynamic field. If we wanted tags, let's add them just for this particular one. Add something like this. The tags would need to be separated with a comma. Parent we set to Then we can make this a dynamic field with a lot of variations. You can select that to there. Also, if you have a lot of variations, you can just say preserve row and column. Or if you're under sheets, you just put a dollar mark between the column and the row name. Same as Excel. It'll keep that there. If you have hundreds of variations, you might want to do a column like this. This would be the formula approach. So you'd say, for instance, if that's the start of your series, then you'd say equal this plus 1. And then over here, you could do something like this. That and dash and this. And then you could use that. If you had a whole bunch of variants, you'll be able to keep the pattern. Again, dollar before the column and the row name will mean that it will preserve that row and that column. So if I then bring this down, we need to bring this down as well. Here we've got our values. And then if we wanted to remove this extra column, which we would, we could select paste formula results once we're all done. We could do the whole row, paste formula results, and then we've got our value there. And we could remove this. This is just an optional advanced option. You can also do it manually, one at a time. If you find yourself doing the same task again and again, there will often be a formula or another workflow that you can do to automate the process. Serving suggestions 1 and 2, and that should do it. Let's just mark this a different color so that we can see. One other thing to note is you'll need to also add an attribute name and number to match your format. There are many different ways to set up your products, so we do recommend first importing your first base product. We're now ready to bulk import our images, and then from there we can import our products. From our sidebar, we'll go to Media, Library, and then Add New. You can also click Add New directly. If you click Add New here, you will drag your files onto the section or say Select Files. Or you can click Add New here and follow the exact same approach. I have my 3 product images, 69, 143 and 149. I prepared them at 900 by 900 pixels so they're a nice square and that we all have uniform sizes. If I bulk upload them by dragging them onto the drop files to upload section, WordPress will now prepare the images making optimized thumbnail sizes so that the shop display will look great even on your shop, category or product pages. Double checking the name, I will click edit just to make sure that we have got the same convention we're expecting, and we can see 0269, 02143 and 02149. If you have images that have the same name, for instance if I re-uploaded this image 69, this image will then have a -1 as we can see here. So that's something to be careful of if you're updating a lot of images that have the same name. If you do use your product SKU, you should be alright. But if you want to be extra vigilant, you could add product SKU at the beginning and then the name, in case you have images on your home page that have a number such as this. I can close these images and now prepare what we've all been waiting for. Under WooCommerce Products, or Products, we then go to Import. In this case, I will remove the original products. We can update them if they've got an ID number, as we can see here, but I'm going to just remove them. I'm now going to export to CSV. In Excel and in Sheets, you have various other options there as well. Under Import File, make sure to check your CSV Separator. It's also called the Delimitator. I'll show you what that is now. Here we can see that the delimitator is a semicolon, could also be a comma, depends on your application settings. The first line here relates to our title columns or the headers, and our other lines here relate to the various products, the actual content. We're now going to say choose file. We're going to select our upload file. If we had products that we were updating, so those products that had the ID, in other words this, then we would select the update option. But we don't have any existing products, these are all new products. Under advanced options, we are now going to go to the Csv Delimitator. As we saw, this field is a semicolon. It could be a comma. There's various options that can be used. If you've used multiple files before to upload, you can also check this column. In this case, it's our first time we're adding these products. If we added a batch of 50, we checked our values, and we added another 20, we might want to use the same column mapping. Click Continue. We check that our values make sense. Because we've used the same name from exporting from WooCommerce products, the titles and the header columns will match. We can also see some examples of our first product line. Here it's in stock, so the value was 1 there. Got our prices, this is all looking good. There's no missing columns, so that is great. So run importer. We're expecting for there to be 3 products added. Some of those products have variations. Import complete, 9 products imported. Let's view those products. Here are our 3 products that we've just done. We've got chicken art pesto. This is our simple product. We have our chicken roast peppers quiche and chicken sausage paella. Here's our simple product with the image that we uploaded. Remember, this had no description. Same as there. We have our chicken roast peppers. Here we've got the various serving sizes. And then we have our chicken and sausage paella with our various serving sizes. Our categories all look correct. Excellent, excellent.